Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to another video with me. If I look a little bit red and shiny, it's because, like I always say, I have no aircon in this apartment. It's been so humid recently. And I didn't want to put the fan on whilst I'm filming because otherwise the noise is just going to be annoying for you guys. So I have no makeup on, so if I'm starting to look a little bit red and shiny, it is because it's very hot in here. Also my voice keeps going a bit. I don't think I'm ill. I think it's just like allergies and from sleeping with the fan on and stuff. But today I just wanted to do like a little light-hearted video, and I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and I just thought right now it's a perfect time. I love to keep my videos so wholesome and feel good and real because I feel like that's what we're missing right now. So you do crave that kind of content and you want to like take it back to when we first kind of started posting on YouTube, and it was just such like real life videos and moments capturing memories instead of all of these crazy edits and stuff, which I'm not shading, but you know what I'm saying, then you will love my channel, so you should definitely subscribe. But today I want to do a video on growing up as a redhead, and there is no secret that I am a redhead. It is natural. I do get asked that a lot, which we will get into. I do get asked a lot if my hair is natural. So yes, I am a natural redhead, and I have never ever dyed my hair, not even put highlights, nothing. I have never touched the color of my hair. In fact, I've barely done anything to it. My hair is naturally pretty dead straight. It will get a bit wavy if I sleep on it funny or I put it up, but my hair is naturally dead straight and the color is very natural. So I obviously post a few little like shorts and stuff about red hair, but sorry if this is not fascinating for some of you guys. I hope this finds the redheads, this video, but I've posted a few shorts touching upon like the red hair and stuff like that. But I have come across some full videos where people talk about like growing up as a redhead and like their experience and stuff. So I thought it would be fun to kind of do one myself. And I feel like if you guys are interested in what goes on in other people's minds when like maybe you have something on you that's like a little bit different to the norm, then this might be an interesting video, because this is probably all stuff that a lot of you would never think that we experience. But if you're watching this and you have red hair, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to relate to everything I'm saying. So let's kind of start with what it's like growing up as a redhead. So I honestly never got bullied. I never felt like I got bullied because of the color of my hair, but what I will say is I did get like singled out sometimes because of the color of my hair, whether it was meant to be in that way or not. I did feel like a huge part of my identity that people made it when I was younger was my red hair. There wasn't really like, because I'm thinking back to like primary school, into secondary school, there wasn't really many people with my hair color. Like I'm actually trying to think of who there was with the same hair color as me, because obviously people say in Ireland and England you'll find lots of redheads, which is very true. And from being out in Australia and living in an area where there's a lot of Irish, I will say a lot of the Irish do have red hair. But yeah, I don't remember many people with my hair color around me when I was growing up. I was like, if I was in a group with my friends or I was in a room, I normally was pretty much the only one with my hair color. Or there would be people with, do you know, like where if it's in a certain light, it will look red or ginger, whatever you want to call it. But it more was like a brown color, but if it was in the right light, it would shine like a red color. But when I was younger in particular, like my hair was very bright. It's kind of changing shades as I'm getting older, but yeah, so I was kind of like the only one normally with red hair in a room or a group or a classroom. So yeah, there was kind of some funny examples when I was in primary school, but you know what it's like when you're a child. These things stick with you, and you're more embarrassed when you're little because you don't understand things properly. So I remember in primary school, like we were doing these kind of like games and stuff in the playground, and one of the things that we had to do was get into order of hair color, but it was something like from darker shades to lighter shades, which when I think about, is that a weird thing to do in school? I don't know, but it was something that the teacher got us to do. So we had to stand in order of like darkest to lightest hair color, something like that. Like I guess actually maybe it is something you do, like, and then you have to get into high order, all of that kind of thing. But yeah, the hair color one, and again, I was like the only one with my color hair, and I just remember like when I was little, that's the type of things where I would, but it was kind of myself that was making me feel like that, but it's because I was little, so I didn't understand it like that. I would feel a bit like singled out and different from everyone else, because I remember everyone had like brown, black, blonde, so it was very obvious where they put themselves. And I remember kind of feeling like really anxious, like, oh my god, where do I stand? Is my hair dark? Is it light? Like obviously now I'm kind of like, it's probably classed as like a lighter hair color, but at the time I didn't know, like, because I was so little. And I just remember I'd get really nervous and I'd just kind of plonk myself anywhere. So it'd be little things like that where I started to realize there was something different on me. And I think when you're children and you're around other, when you're a child and you're around other children, when there's something different on you, it's not always like a good thing, because children don't understand that it's like, children I think maybe associate something different as maybe like they're a bit confused, like asking questions like, why is your hair that color? Or maybe they see it as a bad thing, whereas as you get older you obviously understand, you know, it makes you unique. It's good to have something different. But yeah, there'd be times like that. And another funny example when I was little is I remember if somebody came on the TV with my hair color, or we walked, I'll keep to this example at first. So if someone came on the TV and they had my hair color, I for some reason would suddenly get all, again, like nervous, and I would like pretend like I didn't see them on the TV, or I would like leave the room or change a conversation or something like that, which sounds ridiculous. I don't know if all redheads can relate to this, but it's because every time someone came on the screen with my hair color, the people in the room I was watching it with would like look at me and like look at the TV and be like, they've got your hair color, or look, it's you on the TV, or something like that. I don't know why they'd find that really funny. Like obviously my dad would do it as a joke as well, but like, and that's fine because it's family, but like when it would be with friends and stuff and they'd be like, look, it's you on the TV, like just because they had the same hair color as me. And I don't know why when I was little I would get really embarrassed about that. I think maybe at that time, maybe I associated it as like a bad thing, so I just didn't want to acknowledge it. I had this weird relationship with my hair when I was little. I just felt like it was always being pointed out, and I didn't understand that just because it was being pointed out, it wasn't like a bad thing, but I like associated it with this kind of weird thing that I had. Like it was a weird hair color and like no one knew where it came from. I don't know how to explain it. So, and my way of dealing with that when I was little was to try and block it out and like disassociate from it. So I would like leave the room or pretend like I wasn't listening. Like I remember when I was really little, I was in a room, I'm not gonna say with who, and yeah, someone came in with like on the TV with like a red wig. I think it was kind of trying to be like a joke or something, whether it was like a comedy thing I was watching, I don't know. And then one of the people in the room was like, look, Georgia, it's look like your hair. But like it was kind of taking the mick, because again on the TV it was like this person wearing a long wig with my hair color, and it was like a comedy show, so it was like taking the mick out of like my hair color. And I remember I just like kept looking down, like pretending I was doing something else and didn't hear it, so I would get really embarrassed. And yeah, it would happen as well like in real life, like if someone walked by with my hair color, like chances are someone I was with was gonna do the same thing again, like, oh, do you know that person, like trying to be funny, because like it was like we're part of this group with red hair. And so again, if we walked by someone in the street in my hair color, I'd kind of just like look down and like, I don't know, it was so weird, isn't it, when you think back to how you are as a kid. And sometimes I find myself like it now because it was like ingrained in me as a kid. And like even my boyfriend, as a joke, if we go past someone with my hair, he'd be like, look, Georgie, it's you. Or look, Georgie, do you know that person? Like, it's obviously all jokes. But when you're a child, you don't always understand that difference. So I would just try and avoid any situation where it was like that. If hair color got brought up or anything like that, oh my God, I just get so embarrassed. Because I was like, when I was younger, I was quite shy. So, you know, there's kids that just probably don't give a flying whatever. But I was quite shy. So I would probably overthink those types of things. So yeah, I didn't get bullied, but I would be separated from groups because of the hair color, and it was definitely recognized and brought up a lot in different ways. Like, another thing is it becomes a bit of like your identity, and people will literally remember you because of your hair color, and they will tell you that. And because my name's Georgia, people would remember me by like Ginger George or Ginger Georgia or something like that. So I mean, it's a good thing you get remembered, but like, yeah, it would be hard for people to forget who you are, because they would just remember, you know, when you try and remember a name, there's normally some way you will remember that and associate with the person. And for me, it was always my hair color. And like I said, right now I feel like it kind of is looking a bit darker, but in certain shades it will be very bright. So it would be the same thing, like if I'm walking and someone saw me from a distance and they came up to me, they'd be like, oh, well, you're not hard to miss. I noticed your hair. Like, I get that a lot. I've actually had that in some creepy ways as well. But yeah, a lot of people will remember you and spot you because of your hair. And also another thing is people will see someone with my hair color in the same like length and it being straight or whatever, and then they'll be like, oh, were you in this place on that day? Like, this happens a lot in my workplace, and I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, oh, well, there was someone that looked like you, they had your hair color and everything. And I'll be thinking, there are other people with my hair color, and just because they have my hair color, it doesn't mean they look like me. Like, a lot of times if someone comes in with my hair color, like, they'll think they'll say like I look like them or something, and I'll like be looking at them thinking, we look nothing alike, we just have the same hair color. Like, if I had a different hair color, you would not be saying that. Like, I remember, like I said, in my secondary school, I was one of the only ones with my hair color, and one of the only ones that could like tan. So like, because I tan and have brown eyes, I think that's also where the confusion comes in with my hair color sometimes, which we'll get onto. But I was like the only one really with that kind of combination. Like, a lot of people with my hair color would have like blue eyes and be very pale, which I love that as well. I used to always wish I had blue eyes with my hair color, but whatever. And then this girl who I'm actually really good friends with now, because she actually came out to Australia as well. Shout out to her, she does watch my videos, Danielle. But she started in my school, and like she started like quite late in like the last 2 years of our secondary school, and everyone was coming up to me like, oh my God, do you have a twin? There's this girl that's just started, she looks exactly like you. And it was Danielle, and she had the same hair color and brown eyes and has like really tan skin. And yeah, everyone was just coming up to me like, do you have a twin? Like, this girl looks exactly like you. And the funny thing is, and I'm sure Danielle would agree, is we don't have similar facial shapes or structure at all. It's just the coloring. So yeah, I would, and I still do get a lot of like, I look like somebody just because of their hair color. And oh, you must know them because you have the same hair color. Like, it's wild, guys, but this actually does happen. But yeah, like, it becomes a bit of like your identity. Like, people associate you with the hair. You'll get a lot of, if someone's trying to like tell someone who I am or something, they'll be like, oh, the ginger one, or the redheaded one. Or it's always added to me. Whereas you don't, I mean, look, you do say, oh, the blonde one and stuff like that. But I just think when you have red hair, it's added into a lot more conversations, because again, it's something that stands out a bit more. It's a bit different, whatever. So I get the whole ginger and redhead thing thrown into a conversation about me a lot. Another thing, like I said, I didn't get bullied, but if I was in disagreements with people at school, or I was being talked about or whatever, and it got repeated back to me again, they would always throw in my hair color as a bad thing though. Like, I remember, and this is bloody back to like, I think like the Bebo and MSN days, and there was this girl that she didn't like me at the time, but it's because it was, you know, such childish stuff, but I was really close with this girl, and her other mate didn't like the fact that we were really close and how well we were getting along, because then my friends started spending more time with me and like not her and stuff. And you know, when you're younger, and there's some people that are just always going to be more jealous people than others because they don't work on themselves or whatever, but she was very, very jealous about the fact that I was really close with her mate, and so she would just look for things to say about me and stuff. And I remember she would always throw in my hair color, and as if it was a really bad thing, and always throw in like ginger as an insult and stuff, which obviously growing up it was quite sensitive because of all of the other stuff I've just told you, plus more, which I'll get into. But like, again, like, remember, it's something different. I was quite a shy child, and having something different about me as it was, that's something that made me stand out. I was just very shy, and I didn't really like that when I was little. So yeah, when people used to throw like ginger in as an insult, like be a bit like, I didn't understand it. I'd just be more like, why is that an insult? And I think because it was just so associated with negative things and it was used as an insult, I thought it was negative. So it was a bit of a weird relationship with my hair color. So anyway, this girl used to always use, had to throw in like ginger when she was being like mean about me. She now has a redhead child, very bright red hair. So yeah, I think that's kind of funny. And now she probably thinks it's the most beautiful hair color because her child has it. And she probably would go crazy if someone ever said that about her child. So I just think that's kind of funny. So yeah, I think, and then because of all of this, like, I remember having thoughts like, and like I said, I didn't get bullied. It's just it would be brought up in arguments and stuff, the hair color, but it wasn't like I got bullied because of my hair color. But yeah, I remember because of this, I remember having thoughts like, because I got on really well with like some of the boys, and like it was kind of that age where people were starting to get like boyfriends and stuff. And I remember thinking in my head so many times, and it wasn't like I was ashamed of my hair color or like I hated it, but I just remember having passing thoughts like, if I had a different hair color, like I remember thinking if I just had dark brown hair or like blonde hair, I remember thinking, I think all the boys would really like me. I remember thinking in my head the reason I didn't have a boyfriend was because of my hair color. I remember thinking they probably wouldn't be with someone with my hair color, and it's just thoughts that I used to have. It's so funny, isn't it? Because I like, it's just because I would get on really well with them, and I knew that they thought I was like, I don't know, like pretty and stuff, but I remember thinking the reason they probably don't want to be with me is because of my hair color, which I do remember. I don't know if I want to actually say this. No, I won't add that in, but there's just been other little comments from actually people that have been close to me, like boyfriends and stuff, that have said stuff about my hair, and whether it's a joke or not, but it's a funny thing, isn't it? It's just the bloody hair color. But it's just it's almost like, to some people it's not just a hair color, it's like they are convinced that more comes along with the hair color, and we are all witches, which I stand by, because I don't mind being like a mystical creature or like a nice witch or something like that. So another thing is a lot of people would stop my mum whenever she went out with me because of my hair color. Most of the people were older ladies, so they were beautiful people, lovely people, best interests, beautiful hearts to stop and actually compliment someone, because who really does that anymore? But again, I was little, I was very shy, I was being spotlight being put on me, so I didn't like it when I was little and I didn't understand it. But whenever we would go places and whenever we'd go to the hairdressers for my mum and I'd have to sit and wait, they would go on and on about my hair. Old ladies would stop my mum and say, she has such beautiful hair, where does it come from? Because my mum and dad don't have red hair. They'd be like, where does it come from? It's so beautiful, like, are you a model? You should be a model. And it was just constantly, like my mum said, like she would get stopped everywhere because of me and my hair, and I just didn't really understand why this spotlight was on me because of it. I mean, also feeds you a false image of how things might look for you when you're older and stuff, because the amount of people that would say she's going to be a model, she's going to go into modeling, blah blah blah. Guys, I mean, I'd done a little bit here and there, but I'm on a reception desk so that didn't happen. But yeah, there'd be a lot of people like really think, like saying like how you're going to be this type of person when you're older because of your hair color. It is mad, but that would genuinely happen. Like lots of people stopping my mum to really compliment me with my hair color. So when I was little, because all of this kind of built up, I would say to my mum, please can I dye my hair? But I think that was more because it was kind of like that time where a lot of my friends were experimenting. Do you know when you're a teenager and you start to kind of come into who you are and you're experimenting on how you want to look, who you want to be, like your personality shows through the way you look. And a lot of my friends started like dyeing their hair different colors. And do you know, remember when it was like that dip dye thing or whatever it was called, where you just dye the bottom of your hair? And I remember I really wanted to do it because all of my friends were, but my mum was like, no, you're not dyeing your hair, you're not touching your color. She was like, people would die to have your color, like people like spend loads of money trying to get your hair color, like you are not dyeing your hair. She actually didn't let me cut my hair either. She was like, you've got beautiful long thick hair, like, and I would just be like, please can I cut my hair, please can I dye it? And now I understand why she didn't want me to, because she was right. Having long, healthy, thick, glowy hair is what everyone wants. But you know, when you're little and you just don't understand and all your mates are doing something, so you want to do it as well. But I am so happy that my mum was like, you're not dyeing your hair. It got to a point where I think I asked quite a lot. So she was like, right, you can get highlights. We can get you some blonde highlights or something. We'll talk to your auntie, because she worked in a hairdresser's. We can get you some blonde highlights. God knows what, I don't know how that would have looked. But in fact, I actually have natural highlights in my hair because of, if that's what you call them, because the sun changes the shade of my hair. But she did give in and say that, but I never went through with it. I never did it, which I'm really happy I didn't, because I think I did actually have, I just suddenly thought of someone that had my hair color at school, but she changed it quite a lot. And I just remember her saying it's just effort to try and get it back. It's expensive and the color just goes all weird. It's hard to get it back to like the natural color. So yeah, like fast forwarding then, like as I started growing up and like into where I'm at now, I started to really appreciate my hair color, because I started to realize like it was something that did make me me, and it was just something different on me. And me as a person, I'm very like creative. I love different things. I love things that make people unique. I've never been one of those that feels I have to like follow and keep up with trends to look like everyone else. I love it when people have like a bit of an edge to them and they embrace something that's different about them. So for me, I began to like love the hair color, and if anyone said anything, like, I just didn't care anymore. So yeah, I started to love it. And then it wasn't until I came to Australia that I started to really notice just how much some people love the colour. Because I don't think, I mean, I've had it brought up a lot as I was growing up, as I just mentioned, but since coming to Australia and working on a desk where people are like coming by like every day, I've never had so much compliments. Like, it was when growing up and back at home, people would mention my hair, but it wasn't always in a good way. It was always in like a jokey way, or like kind of, where did it come from? Does your mum and dad have that color? Whatever. But when I came to Australia, and especially in this job, it turned into like compliments, and a lot of people actually saying like they love it. And so yeah, it's just made me like appreciate it even more. Like, and I just remember first coming to Australia, and I remember one of the lovely girls that I was with said to me, I remember going into the gym, and she had been out in Australia for a little while, and I just got here, and she said to me, she said something like, if a lot of guys look at you or mention your hair color, she said it's because there's just something about that they like. She said it's a bit exotic for them, like a bit different, like they're not as used to it, which I don't know, but she said that to me. And I remember thinking, you know, I didn't think much of it. But then coming into this job where I'm in a position where people can come up to me and say stuff, and the amount of compliments I receive and the amount of people that ask me about my hair, I'm like, okay, the Australians love it. I'm in the right place. And it's kind of true, because I remember when I was doing my farm work out here, this gal from, I'm trying to think where she was from now. I can't remember where she was from, but she asked me about my hair, and she said, because we used to wear our hair in like nets on the farm and with a hat on, and she said to me, she said, do you have red hair or ginger hair, whatever she said? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I have never met a girl with natural red hair. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I see it, like, you know, I'm very well familiar with it. You just walk around where I live now, and there is quite a few, because there's a lot of Irish and stuff. But yeah, I just, these comments and stuff. But yeah, I don't want to go into that too much, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm like, I love my hair, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing wrong with loving something on you. But yeah, I just wanted to really get that across, my experience being in Australia. People really give you a lot of compliments with the color. And like, I literally was at work the other day, and where I work, it's like glass all around it, so the people on the outside can see in. And there was this older lady sat opposite, and she did keep staring in, but I thought she was just like people watching. And then she came in and she said, I'm not here to talk about like the work. She said, I just wanted to say to you, I've been watching you over there, and you have such lovely hair. And she came in just to tell me, and then started asking me like, have I dyed it, like, and telling me about her friend that has my hair color and how she's older now and it never went gray. And I'm like, okay, that gives me hope. Apparently red hair doesn't go gray. I don't know if that's true. Apparently it goes white instead. But yeah, you get so many lovely compliments, and people, honestly, on the desk, I always feel like at least like once or twice a day, someone will mention my hair color. I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, can I just ask you, where do you get your hair done? And I'm like, oh, I just get it cut like downstairs. It's like $20 or whatever. Okay, it's like more like $40 these days. And they're like, no, like for the color. And then I'm like, no, I've never dyed it. And I have that conversation quite a lot, and sometimes it's a bit awkward, because they're like, but like the highlights, I'm like, no, like it's just changes in like the sun and stuff, like I've never touched it. And I get like that quite a lot, and a lot of people will come up to me and be like, is it natural? I remember when I first came to Australia, I was also so tanned, because I'd been like laying on a beach for like 3 months, which, okay, I know now that's not good, but I was wearing Factor 50 every day. But yeah, I was so tanned. So I remember like meeting this guy when I was on the farm, and he was like, which one's fake, your hair or your tan? And I'm like, none of them. So my dad's family are Italian, so I think that's why maybe I can tan, I don't know, but it's a myth that natural redheads can't tan. A lot of them can't, a lot of them will. A lot of us, like, we have very sensitive skin, so a lot of us can't tan, but a lot of us can tan. We just have to be very careful and wear our sun cream, and just, you know, go out in like intervals and stuff. So yeah, it's funny really. Sorry, I'm just thinking about all like the comments I get, which is just funny. Like, I don't know if people realize that us redheads go through this. But yeah, guys, I'm probably rambling a bit now. I wanted to kind of touch upon like some of the myths and stuff and like some of the facts about redheads, because there are actually things that our bodies actually do differently than others because of the gene that we have. But I'm actually not going to touch upon that. Maybe I'll do another video on that. So I'll keep this one more to like my experience as a redhead. And like when I see like redhead children, I can't help but look at them and just smile and think, I wonder like if they get bullied, or I wonder how they feel about their hair color. And I always think to myself, when they're older, like if not now, especially when they're older, they will start to appreciate it and understand how lovely it is to have something that's different about you and how unique it is and what a bright, happy color it is. Even now I see some people with red hair where it's like really, really like bright, almost like orange, and I'm like, it's so nice, it's such a beautiful color. But yeah, I am sweating here, like I am so hot, I'm glowing, I'm sweating, I need to have the fan on. I'm gonna leave this one here. Like I said, I'll keep this to just like my experience a little bit as a redhead. And maybe I'll do another one about some myths and stuff. I was thinking about something else. I was just thinking like how as well a lot of people will ask like where we're from and stuff, because they'll just assume that we're like Irish or something like that, which obviously I'm English and Italian, but out here, I was just laughing in my head. A lot of people have mistaken me for being Brazilian, which is a funny one. I remember I was walking with my boyfriend and his brother outside in the petrol station. We were just like looking around and we'd just paid for our petrol and stuff. And some lady was just sat outside on like a table. She was like selling something. And she just looked at us and smiled, and I smiled back, and she literally just said, "Are you Brazilian?" There was no hi or anything. It was, "Are you Brazilian?" They will tell you that story is true. It was very random. So I've had that type of thing a lot. I think maybe because of the tan and the color, I don't know. But yeah, people just seem very intrigued. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna end this one here. I hope you've enjoyed. It's a little bit of a different one, but you know, we need to get some, I don't know, I miss the authentic chats, like the old school YouTube days. So I hope you guys enjoy. Love you all lots, and I will see you in the next one.